Hello, and welcome to another IT Portal setup video. In this video, we're going to cover the integration of ConnectWise Manage with the IT Portal. Before you start, we ask that you go into Manage, click on your name on the top, and go to My Accounts. When the screen loads, you're going to see API keys here. Go ahead and generate an API key. You'll generate a public and private API key. Store those so that we can configure those in the portal. Before using those API keys though, we do ask that you go into admin settings, site options, and make sure that a value exists for the external updating key. If a value exists, leave it alone. If a value does not exist, go ahead and add one. That will ensure that we can do some encryption within the portal regarding the communication. The next thing we ask is that you go to admin settings, integrations, ConnectWise. Specify your ConnectWise URL. The KB article gives some suggestions of what ConnectWise recommends. So make sure you review that. Specify your company name. This is the name that you see in your login screen when you log into ConnectWise Manage. Go ahead and input that public and private API key and hit the test button. You should see success. You may get a warning that the company names don't match, so do reference our KB article regarding that. If you get a warning saying that the API key is invalid, just make sure you check those. So again, once you do the testing, go ahead and click Enable ConnectWise and Update Settings. At this point, we'll go ahead and go over the options that we have within the portal. So we have one-way sync options, data coming into the portal. So over here we ask, do we want to overwrite existing portal information? Ideally, you want to set this to on. What this means is if an object already exists in the portal, do we want ConnectWise to update it? And generally, we do want that. How are we going to handle empty values? So if you have a phone number in ConnectWise if you have a phone number in IT Portal and the value is empty in ConnectWise, do you want ConnectWise to overwrite the value in the portal? So ideally you want this to soft. Hard would mean that we would go ahead and overwrite that. You also have an option here to resync new companies. So if you haven't synchronized the portal yet, this is one good way to do it. The problem with this is that it will synchronize all companies. So if you have prospects, companies that you really don't want in the portal, we recommend that you do not use this option here. Now, if we go to two-way sync options, you can enable two-way sync, which means that when changes occur in the portal, we're going to send those to ConnectWise as well. And again, are we going to send empty values? So if a value exists in ConnectWise, but it doesn't exist in the portal, do you want the portal to overwrite ConnectWise? So that's another option there. So in the portal, you have the option to mark objects in or out. And so we're asking, if you mark them in the portal, what status do you want in ConnectWise? Because ConnectWise allows multiple statuses. And then if you mark things out within ConnectWise, how do you want those to be marked? Out within the portal, how do you want those to be marked in ConnectWise? Under contact options, be sure to select your default contact type. So if contact in ConnectWise does not have a type, we want you to pick what the default is going to be. We also have options for inactive contacts. Do we want to set them as inactive or delete them? We also have communication types that we need to map. So for example, IT Portal email field will map to ConnectWise email field. So go ahead and match all those. We generally match these 5, but you can go ahead and match the SMS address as well within the portal to a managed option. Under configurations, I'll cover this in a second, but also down here, we list all the configuration types in ConnectWise, and we give you options as how to map those in the portal. So for example, like a managed server, we know that we want that to be a device. And then, for example, we may say server, right? Now we have two sync options here, which is auto sync on, auto sync off. Basically what this means is, do you want us to synchronize it nightly when we do our nightly ConnectWise sync? So you have the option to turn that on or off. Another option here is DHCP. So generally for servers, we want to leave this off because servers are not DHCP generally. But things like workstations that do run off of DHCP addresses, do go ahead and turn this on. What that'll do is it'll make sure that in the portal we always refresh the IP addresses of those devices, so we don't create duplicates every time that a machine gets a new IP address. So we have an option here to update friendly device name. So if generally people will synchronize this from ConnectWise, and ConnectWise may not have a friendly device name value. So generally we want to keep this off because the friendly device name is generally created within the portal. But if you want to force ConnectWise to overwrite the portal's friendly device name, go ahead and check that on. And then we have an option about inactive configurations. Do we want to set as inactive in the portal, or do we want to delete those? We have options to synchronize agreements. This is off by default for security reasons. Some organizations may not want that data coming into the portal, but we also give you the option here to manually import those. Sites, again, very similar to the other objects. What are we going to do with inactive sites? So sync inactive sites from ConnectWise into the portal, true or false, and sync deleted sites from ConnectWise, true or false. Okay. The final thing here is the importing of ConnectWise company. We recommend that you go through this wizard and go ahead and import the companies that you want. So ideally, most of our customers will import companies that equal status of active, for example. So you can search for those, it'll provide a list, and then you can import those devices. Do reference the KB articles because we cover some additional options that we have within the setup of Manage. But this is everything that you need to get started. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.